What's good, YouTube? DM came in here, y'all, and we back with some more college football 26 information, guys. I got some more details for y'all that I want to share and kind of discuss for a brief moment of your time, and I'm excited about it, guys. So we are almost a month away from launch. And this is going to be a very busy month. There's going to be a crap ton of information coming out pretty frequently. So there won't be that long 3-4 week drought of information, if you will. So I have been scouring YouTube videos like crazy, Twitter, all of this stuff, gaining all kinds of information on the game, and even seeing some like deleted tweets from some people. Guys, this is legit. So I want to talk about a few things, a few notable things that are coming to the game. And so first and foremost, dynamic lighting. Dynamic lighting is going to be in the game with the day and night. I call it a day and night cycle, but it's not really a day and night cycle. But because it's not going, well, yeah, it is. Anyway, so the time is going to change. So if your game started at 6 o'clock p.m. and it's generally sunset during the summer months, so you'll see a sunset, and after halftime it's going to be dark outside. Everybody knows what that is, dynamic lighting. It's so crazy how that has no bearing on gameplay, but it has a load of bearing on immersion. And it's so detailed that 6:30 in Eugene, Oregon is going to look completely different than 6:30 in Austin, Texas. You know what I'm saying? So the time zones are even a factor as far as the dynamic lighting cycles. And I told y'all, I hinted at this because remember I told y'all, I said, hey, all of these videos, all these pictures that they're posting has something to do with lighting. They're kind of putting lighting at the forefront for a reason. And it's crazy because, I was like, I bet they're going to have dynamic lighting in the game. And they do. And that's awesome. That's a very cool feature to have in the game. Doesn't impact gameplay, but it's still nice to have. Now, one tweet that was deleted. It was a tweet that was put out by this quarterback, used to play in the NFL, Green Bay Packer quarterback, who's now making content on YouTube. He had tweeted something out and it got deleted, but it talked about quarterback play. So in this trailer, even we see Underwood, I think that's his name, from Michigan. We see him making some moves in the backfield. And I remember when we were doing the live stream on the reveal trailer, somebody in the comment section was even talking about, man, it'd be cool to, maybe they're going to do, give us the ability to make running moves in the backfield with the quarterbacks, because you can't in 25. But we weren't sure if that was what we were seeing from that clip was just like a broken tackle or was it a legitimate move. Upon studying it further, that is in fact, you can tell he makes the move before he ever comes in contact with the defender. You're probably going to see it pop up here in a second on this trailer. And so this tweet that this guy tweeted and ended up deleting talked about that's going to be in the game. So quarterbacks are going to be able to have running moves while in the backfield. They also talk kind of like, see right here, yeah, that's going to be in the game. You're going to be able to make moves in the backfield. Now, that was a feature that they had in Madden games and stuff like that, pocket avoidance type things and things of that nature. But it hadn't been in college football. Not in college football 25 at least. So they are adding that to the game. I think that's going to be a unique feature. They also said that your reaction time being a quarterback in the backfield is going to be better. And I'm thankful because that has always been one of my biggest complaints. I would find this quarterback who was lightning fast, but it's like there's this delay between him turning on the jets and getting upfield and stuff. And I hated it because I'm like, okay, if my quarterback speed is like 95, 97, there's no way that a defensive lineman whose speed is like 75 should be able to like catch him running sideline to sideline. I don't like that. And we're in a realm of college football where quarterbacks are mobile. A lot of quarterbacks are mobile. And guys like Lamar Jackson, guys like your Michael Vicks and stuff like that. Like, that's a reality. That's no longer video game type things. And I feel like a quarterback of that caliber in the game should operate as such. And it should. And I know people may not like it because they feel like, oh, that's OP. But it's realistic. Like, do you not understand the sleepless nights that these defensive coordinators have planning for a quarterback like that? As a football coach myself, I've coached offensive side, defensive side. It's a nightmare when you go against a stud quarterback who can make you pay with his legs, dude, because it throws off your coverages and everything. So, yeah, it is game breaking to have a guy like that in the backfield. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing depth-wise like that with the quarterbacks in the backfield and stuff like that. I'm happy to know that, hey, you can move quicker in the backfield. Your quarterback reacts faster and stuff like that. That's going to open up the style of offense that I do. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So we covered dynamic lighting, covered the quarterback stuff. There was another thing that I was gonna mention that was going to be in the game. Oh yeah, so that's another thing, and it has to do with the quarterbacks. Apparently, okay, and this is from a deleted tweet, but apparently, your quarterbacks, the height changes. Quarterback height changes their vision and passing windows. So they're, trying to make it a little bit more realistic in that regard. I like that. I like that because now, people, it's going to make a difference in recruiting. Are you going to go for a taller quarterback? Are you going to go for a shorter quarterback to fit your offense? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that a shorter quarterback can't excel. You got guys like Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson. Heck, even Drew Brees wasn't a tall quarterback, And so adding that into the game adds depth. It adds a depth from a gameplay standpoint as well as from a recruiting standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I think that that's going to be a really big deal. Me, I like to run a veer and shoot offense. So it's a lot of quick hitting passes and RPOs and stuff like that. Not a lot of things going across the middle of the field, if that makes sense. You're really stretching out the defense. So for me, I don't necessarily need a super tall quarterback or anything like that. But I think that that's an important thing to note right there. All right, and another feature on the defensive side of the ball, which once again we've heard this before in Madden, but it hasn't been in college football, and that is that defenders cannot intercept the ball anymore if they don't get their eyes around. And so basically, if they're not looking at the ball, you're not going to see them get an interception. Long gone are the days where the DB is running in phase with the wide receiver or possibly out of phase. His back is turned and all of a sudden he just jumps up and catches the ball. Or a linebacker who's dropping in coverage, head turned looking at the receiver, and all of a sudden just jumps up and catches the interception. That's not going to happen anymore. From my understanding, it's not even a player control thing. I mean, it's even a player control thing. Like, you're going to have to stifle your player. You're going to have to push that R2 button for him to face the line of scrimmage and look at the ball. And I think that's good. I mean, it is easy to throw interceptions in college football, man. I tell you, running the veer and shoot, I throw the ball a lot. And I had to get used to throwing because initially, and y'all saw it in the videos, I would throw a lot of interceptions, man. It was crazy. But less interceptions rewards anticipation and ball placement on throws. So that's going to be important as well. And then another bit of just, not random information, but tidbit of information. There will be new equipment in college football and Madden. One thing that the equipment guy on Twitter, he talked about was saying hey, we're, people are getting upset. We're not going to be able to put every piece of equipment in the game that people want in the game. He said, but also just because you don't see it in the trailer doesn't mean things won't be in the game. He said there are a few pieces of equipment that will be in the game. He didn't specify as to what equipment, but you are getting some new equipment in the game, So be happy about that. We'll see what it is, I guess, at a later date, or through possibly some different screenshots and stuff like that. People even in the trailer pointed out that I think when they showed Rice, that number 2 was wearing a shiesty or something like that, I'm all for people getting things that they want in the game. Me personally, I don't care for like a shiesty doesn't because you don't see your player like that. Like he has a helmet on, so what is the, unless they show him on the sideline with it, or something like that, But it's at the end of the day, it's still cool for people to be able to get things that they like, to be able to outfit the players and stuff like that. I like some drip, you know what I'm saying? So the more equipment in the game, I like that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, some of the equipment I don't care for. I think people raise too much of a fuss over certain pieces of equipment that are kind of relevant, but it's relevant to them, and so it matters. Does that make sense? But all in all, I think that's pretty cool information. Like I said, dynamic lighting, some big things coming to the quarterback position. Defense on the defensive side of the ball and stuff like that. Even with play calling, you'll be able to do custom hot routes for your corners and safeties and linebackers and D linemen. You could already pretty much do them for your D linemen. Like I can make them go on a blitz or twist or whatever. But adding that to the backside of the defense is, to me, really, really cool. And like I told y'all in the live stream, it's going to turn into one of those deals where, hey, initially I may come out in a cover 2. Cover 2 is where you have 2 high defenders. Most of the time it's your safeties. And then underneath, you could either play a zone or you could play a man. Well, now, because of the custom hot routes and stuff like that in the game, defensively, now I could play cover 3 on one side of the field and look more like a cover 2 or play more of a cover 2 type scheme on the other side of the field. Guys, this has been in a football game before. It was in Madden decades ago. Like I do remember having a game where you could do that. It's tough because you got to think you're gonna have to hot route this stuff on the go. The game is not gonna pause for the defense to hot route, and they're gonna go. And so that is going to be it's a very powerful feature. But it's one that it has a weakness to it. And that's your up-tempo, high-speed offenses where the defense don't have time to do that type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? So it is cool. It is cool to have. I'm excited for that defensively. I like to play more offense in the game simply because, to me, defense in this game is just... But that's kind of like most football games, Nobody wants a game where they're not able to score and stuff like that. But I'm going to get back onto the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to get, even on my dynasty now, I'm going to start back playing defense to kind of get back acclimated to it and stuff like that. But 26 is definitely going to have me playing defense. I may even be a defensive coordinator because I think that this is a phenomenal thing that they're adding to the game. So as more information comes out, guys, I'm going to be letting y'all know everything. As soon as we get a deep dive, expect a live stream and things of that nature. Guys, I almost forgot. Heck, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, bruh. Don't be a Poindexter. Get out the portal. Become a 5-star subscriber by clicking the sub button. It's completely free. Doesn't cost you anything at all and helps us continue doing what we enjoy doing. Also, click that bell icon so you don't miss a single notification. Till next time, y'all. Thanks for watching. Peace.